anyone has any other questions from previous class. Uh, were you guys able to download the Tableau versions? If yes, then which ones? Okay, guys, can you respond so that I get to know like who I mean whether you are able to download the Tableau versions or not?
Guys, everybody's on mute. I think Abhishek needs vocal responses.
I asked you about that. You said that you will telling me on this session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. So that is one thing that I'm going to walk you through. But also I asked in the previous class if you can get it. I just showed it, but yeah, no worries. I will go through it.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. No worries. I think in today's session I'll just walk you through that and yeah, and then you can download it. Okay. I think we left it here in the last class. And I have to start with the Tableau versus Power BI comparison there. So Tableau versus Power BI is actually the most asked question here. Like people when usually they start, they have this question like whether we should go for Tableau or whether we should go for Power BI. Which one is better? Which one is easier to learn and all. So I have just laid down here some points. Okay, again, this might not be very convincing for you guys to, I mean, take an option there. But again, definitely you can at least have a starting point there and understand there like where to begin with. So I'll start with the Tableau first. So yeah, definitely Tableau has a better performance with large data sets when compared to Power BI. Okay, so the data that it can handle is there are limitations there. And again, Tableau, as I mentioned in the previous class as well, like has access to multiple data sources there. That is something that we are anyways going to cover in today's class. We are going to see like whatever options that are available in Tableau. So that is one bigger advantage of Tableau over Power BI, that its data sources connectivity is too much there. And then for the Power BI, again, we have limited access to servers and databases there. Although haven't explored much of Power BI, but still, I think good enough for, I mean, jot down the points here and explain. Again, for the Tableau part, we have again, I think this thing also I mentioned in the previous class. We have a comprehensive knowledge base support there. Okay, we have a huge Tableau community there, just like GitHub or any other community. People are asking questions there, and people are replying to those. Uh, and when it comes to Power BI, it is comparatively easier to learn. So those of you who have worked a lot in Excel, you'll find some concepts relatable there, and you'll find it easier to learn it that way. That doesn't really mean that Tableau is not easier to learn, but yeah, comparatively, I would say Power BI is easier to get you started there. And then in the Tableau part, again, we have a flexible licensing system. So again, it comes with a cost there. It comes with a lot of cost there. And Power BI is something that has limited support for free accounts. But again, these days, you'll get a Power BI desktop with any other Microsoft Office suite there. So yeah, definitely. So when it comes to the cost part, Power BI comes in cheap as compared to Tableau for sure. Again, in the Tableau part, we have more scalable solution. So we can just, we have the provisions for incremental data and all. And again, since it has a better performance with large data sets, so that is something that is there in Tableau. And again, Power BI, as I told you, it comes with any other Office suite, so it's comparatively more affordable there. So, in a nutshell, I would summarize it. Let's say if you are working for a scalable, large organization, scalable, which needs a scalable solution, or client has a predefined requirement for Tableau, they have their Tableau server set up and all, then you should go for Tableau. Or else, if you are working, or let's say if you are working for an organization or the client which has comparatively lesser uh, resources in terms of anything like maybe cost could be one factor or data could be one factor. So in such a case, you can go for Power BI. So again, both have their own pros and cons, but again, if you have to ask me, I would say you can start with any one of these tools. And since we are doing this training part here, we are going to cover the Tableau software in this entire training here. Anyone, any questions on this? Are we good to go ahead? Okay. Uh, so as and when you can just let me know if you have any question there. Let me just check in between. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. So yeah. Uh, so Akash, I was talking about this in the previous class. So you can just easily go to the tableau.com and you can download the trial version from here. As you can see, try now option. It will ask you certain details there like email IDs, your name and all. Just fill in and you can have the Tableau desktop version for 14 days trial. That is one option that is there. The second option is you can again search in for Tableau for students uh, and Tableau desktop for students, and then it will give you the same option. But in there you need a valid ID card, okay, which you have to upload there on their site, and post verification, they do it very quickly. Post verification, they'll send the key to the concerned email ID there, and that key you can easily enter. I showed that in the previous class in the help section. In the Tableau, you can just simply enter those credentials there. Not really credentials, but the only the key part there, and you'll have a 1 year free license, entirely free for 1 year. Okay, that is one thing. And again, yeah, this is same here for the trial version, and then yeah, these are the some of the steps there. Once you click on it, you'll get the option to install, and then it will get installed on your machine. Okay, so not really much to discuss here. Also, for the public version, you can go to this particular link here, public.tableau.com. Again, you can enter your email address and download it. So the only thing would be you won't be able to save it locally. Okay, so that would be one caveat to it, that you won't be able to save it locally on your devices. So whenever you'll save it in Tableau Public, you have to save it on the server that it provides, which is basically on your profile there, and anyone can view those visualizations. So that is how public is different from the desktop version. Any questions on this? If not, okay, I just want to share my screen now. Okay, so what I meant is you can just go for Tableau desktop. So those of you who were not in the previous class, I'm just quickly showing you this thing. So you can just go for this licensing part here. and you can just click on this free student license. Just add in your details. Once you add in your details, it will ask you verify student status. So it will take you to the next page. Just put in the ID card there, the copy of the ID card, and you'll get a mail on the email ID which you'll enter here. And finally, you can use that product key in your Tableau part. Let me show you that as well. I'm just doing it again so that we all are in sync here. So you can just go to this help section here, go to the manage product keys part, and you'll get the option here. So again, I have logged in through the online version. So it is writing, I mean, you can see the creator part here, but you will get a product key here. I think 20-digit product key, which you'll get it. And you just have to click there and just edit the credentials there, and you can just activate. Simple. So just try it out, and if anyone faces any problem in that, just let me know. Okay, so this is
Abhishek, one
yeah,
question here. Like,
yeah,
I have downloaded using Tableau desktop using a RoundSqr's email ID.
okay.
And now later, if I get some student ID or something, so can I then update it using that, like the same
See,
Tableau?
ultimately, what we need is a product license key. Okay, so I mean, let's say you can do that with your personal laptop. Once you have that key, just simply enter that product key here. Sorry, not here, but yeah, manage product key section. Just enter it here.
Okay.
You can simply enter it here.
So it doesn't matter if I use like RoundSqr email ID.
I mean, it depends upon on which device you are, I mean, uploading it, uh, where which device you want to work with. So it doesn't really matter that much. But yeah, you all you have to do is you have to just place your product key here. Okay,
Okay, so later,
you can register
if
through
I get it
different
from
email
some
IDs.
student, this
Yeah,
one, like the product key from some student, if I get it later, I can
yeah.
directly update it like that you are showing.
Yeah, that product key you can update it here. Okay, but once you'll let's say you do it on your personal device, when once you are entering your credentials here, okay, once you are entering your credentials here, make sure that you have that email ID there, that student's email ID there. Okay, and it will go to that email ID. And once you have the product key in that particular email ID, then yes, for sure you can use it in the Tableau part. When you open up your Tableau part, this is the first home screen. This is how it looks. On left you have connections. On right you have training videos here, and then you have some blog posts here. Then you have some sample workbooks. This contains your recently saved workbooks. Again, something that we are going to see in a while once we get into the Tableau part. Okay, so just for your reference, I have a home screen here. Okay, let me just quickly cover these things. So again, Tableau file types. So the most commonly one that you will be working with would be the .twb file. Okay, so every Tableau workbook comes with an extension of .twb. Okay, and it contains your all the information that is there on the sheet and dashboard. Whatever is there in the workbook, it will have except the data. Okay, so the data is something that you have to connect to again and again if you are sharing it with someone else. So yeah, to provide solution to that would be a Tableau packaged workbook. Okay, so Tableau packaged workbook is a workbook that contains not only the workbook that is there, but also the data along with it. Okay, so what I mean is, so whatever data we have worked with in a particular workbook. Okay, so we call when we open Tableau, we call that as a Tableau workbook. So whatever data you have worked with, so once you save that data, with a TWBX extension, the data also gets saved in the in-memory system there along with the data. And once you share it with anyone else after that, they'll be able to open the file and see all the visualizations there without entering uh, or without the need to avoid any connectivity there. So you otherwise you need to have the data source locally on your system in order to access those visualizations there. It will ask you to connect to a data source every time if you don't save it as .twbx. So usually how we do it is we usually connect to a database. Either we connect to a database or we connect to through an extract there. Okay, what are these? I'll just give me some time. We'll discuss in today's session only. So this one contains the data and the earlier one contains only the visualizations that are there. Okay. But ideally, whenever you are sharing it, let it be a .twbx file so that anyone can open it with the credentials there. I'll just quickly show you in some time. Okay, what I mean here. The only distinction that you need to get right now would be .twb is only with the visualizations and .twbx is the one with the visualizations as well as the data there. Okay, so the next one is the Tableau data extract file, also called as .tde. Now it is referred to as hyper file. Okay, so again, if you remember from the previous class, I told you that Tableau has its own in-memory database system. Okay, whereby the data is compressed in almost one tenth. Compressed by the size of 1/10 there. So, and that leads to faster processing and again storage needs, that is something that can be avoided there. So we can have an extract there of the data itself and keep it separately, and whenever we want to work with the workbook we can directly connect to that particular extract. So let's say if you are, again just to give you an example there, so let's say if you have a file of let's say 1 GB Excel file there. Okay, again might be unrealistic there, but yeah, let's say if you have a 1 GB Excel file there and you save it as a Tableau extract there, then maybe in 100 MBs you can store it as an extract file there, and every time you have to need not connect to that particular Excel file, but you can just directly connect to .tde file there. That way it will save you not only time but also the storage part there. Okay, and also you can share this extract as well. Okay, so it's not like if you are sharing it you have to share that 1 GB file there. You can just simply save that 100 MB Tableau data extract. So that is the advantage of working with extracts. So anyways, once I'm done with this, the first thing that we are going to see is the extract and live connections in Tableau. So again, just to let you know, those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about extract and what is the local and live connection and all. So I'll just quickly come to it. Right now, I'm just going through the Tableau file types. Any questions here?
So Abhishek, I have one question. Like when we talk about this TW or TWBX file,
Right.
and when I'm opening this TWX file, so it will also contain .tde file.
No. Then it will be saved as a packaged workbook only. So again, that is the difference there. So when I'm taking a .tde file, I'll have only the extract file. When I'm taking the .twbx file, it will have the workbook as well as the data inside it. Okay, so that that data extract would be inbuilt in this only. So this is the way you can distinguish these two. Okay, anyways, I'm just give me some time. I'll show you how to take an extract and what is a TWBX file and what is a TWB file.
Okay.
Okay, and the next three is something that I'm thinking like we can give a pause for now. Anyways, we don't really need it, but yeah, you can just go through them. I'm quite sure we don't really need it. right away. So let it be for let it be this thing on hold for some time, and we'll come back to it. In the meanwhile, actually, let me show you this TWB and TWBX, or let me just complete this one and I'll come back to that. Okay. Again, Tableau data types. So we have these 6 data types in Tableau. Again, those of you who have done SQL already would be aware of these. Again, that is similar to that. So we have text or string values. The icon for that would be ABC. Okay, how to distinguish those variables or those data types there. In Tableau, you will have in front of every variable, you will have the type of that particular variable. Okay, so let's say if it's a roll number there, you'll have ABC, something like that. If it's a date value there, you'll have this date icon there. If you have date and time, you'll have this calendar plus clock there for the date and time icon. If you have numerical values, then you have this hash icon there. If you have Boolean values, then you have this true and false option there, icon there. And if you have geographical values, then you'll have this map option there. So these are the 6 data types that are available in Tableau. Any questions on this? Okay. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty much done with the slide part. So let me just quickly go into Tableau and show you what I mean. Yeah. So this is you guys able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how my Tableau home screen looks. I think we already just saw it. Okay, so on the left we have all the connection options. On the right we have all the training videos here. Again, I would recommend you, if those of you who have time and want to learn it uh, deeply, you can refer to these training videos. I'm quite sure. Whatever I have covered in this particular course, there will be a lot more than that in these training videos. You can go through them, and then you have other resources as well. Okay, so it's asking me get Tableau prep here, the ETL tool that I talked about in the last class. Then there are Tableau community, blueprint assessment, then you have blog, then you have sample data. Again, all these things you can just explore. I would recommend you guys explore all these things and see what all things are there inside them. Okay, and in here you have the recent workbooks that are there, and in here you have the sample workbooks that are there. Okay, so yeah, so now let us just come to the connection part there. Okay, so there are 2 ways that you can connect in Tableau. Okay, so the first way would be connecting to a particular file. Second way would be connecting to a particular server. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so connecting to a file, you get the options to connect to the Excel file, then you have the text file there, all the CSVs and all. Then you have the JSON file there, then Microsoft Access, then PDF, spatial files, again, something related to the geographical map and territories, something that we'll see in the later part. Then some statistical file like SPSS or some SAS file. And if there are any other extensions, then you can just connect through these particular this more option here. So these are all standard files, file connecting to a file option that you will get in Tableau. Okay, so I would like what we are going to do is we are going to for the entire course we are going to stick to the Excel file. Okay, we are not going to connect to the database part, but again I'll show you how to do that. But for the entire analysis and the entire course and training sessions here, we are going to stick to the Excel file. We are going to connect to one Excel file. We'll quickly, I'll show you once I'm done with the server part here. Then I'll come back to this file and then I'll show you what is there in that particular file. Okay, and the second option is that you have a connecting to a server option here. Okay, so these are the commonly used servers. That's why you are seeing them on top here. Otherwise, you have these many options here. Okay, so whatever is the popular server or database that you are aware of, you'll mostly see it here. Okay, and even though let's say that is not mentioned there, then you have the option of ODBC here, other database connection option. You can connect through this. Okay, so let me just quickly show one of it. Let me take a SQL server. Okay, I need a driver, so let me see if I can connect. Yeah, so let me see. Okay, so this is one that we can see. Again, just the standard way of connecting to a server. You need to just you need your server ID here, then the service option, then the port option, and whether you are going for an integrated authentication or specific username and password. Like again, you need to get all these credentials from the DBA there. So this is one way. Again, similar to this, once you connect to any other option here that you are able to find out, all the procedure is approximately the same. You need to put in your credentials here, and then you need to sign in. That is the same across all the databases here. Again, the input would be a bit different in different databases, but yeah, the overall procedure is same here for connecting to a database. Okay, any questions still here for the connection connecting to a file or to a server? Okay.
Yeah, Abhishek.
Oh,
But can we get the other plugins also to install, or only limited access will be there? I mean, like third-party API or SDKs kind of.
yeah. So whatever option you will find here, okay, these are the commonly used ones. Otherwise, if you have to connect to a third-party connector there, you can go for this other database connection. Does that help?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we have to install it, or it will be automatically. We can like we need to like connect to this again.
No, no, no. This is again, I think at max the driver is one thing that you'll need. For example, it is asking me for MySQL that I need to install the driver first, but not necessarily in every case. Like I just showed you in the Oracle case, I can just simply connect like this. Also, you can connect to Google Sheets simply by clicking on them. So again, you have okay.
Most of these connectors are inbuilt.
Yeah, so most of them are inbuilt, but some of them it might ask.
Yeah. Okay.
I think for like for Snowflake also it will ask. Yeah. I know this because I'm yet to download this. So okay. Are we good to move ahead into the I mean connecting to a file part? Okay. So for the entirety of the training here, so this is our global superstore um, data set that I'm going to connect with. Okay. So this is a sample of sample data of our retail section. Okay. And mostly it is the retail data only. Okay. And we are going to connect with this and we are going to work out through this particular data across the trainings. Okay. So now I'm just going to click on it and open it. And yeah, so this is how Tableau's data window looks now. Okay. Now you have the option of the connections here. So let's say if you want to add to some new connection, you can just click on add. Same way you can add a new connection. Or let's say if you want to see what is there in the data, so it contains all the three sheets that were there in the Excel file. Okay, so now what I can do is I can just simply drag the sheet from here into this drag tables here section. Okay, so for now I'm just using the orders data. I'm not going to work with any of these two here, and let us just explore what this particular data is saying, or what all things are coming here. Okay, so again, as you can see, in the top part here, there are two things. One is the live connection, the other one is the extract connection. Okay, so the live connection is when we are connected to the live data. So whatever changes are happening in this particular data, okay, it will be reflected here. Okay, again, we need to schedule some refreshes for that. Manually, we can just click on here, refresh data source, and then we can see the changes here. Okay, so what you guys can do is take it as a small exercise. You can try adding, first you connect to the live data the way we did it just now. Okay, and then try updating some rows in this particular data set. And then just click on the refresh part here and see whether the data for those rows have come or not. Okay. And also, if you see here on the left, you have the meta view of the data. Okay, you have all the field names, then the table from which it is coming. And again, this is the remote field name here. Okay, again, depends upon if we are aliasing any particular name. So that can be seen here if we have aliased any particular name, and this is coming directly from the database. So this is the metadata view here on the left. Okay, in here on top of it, you can see it is giving me the option of the tables here. So whenever I'm referring to any table, I'm just referring to logical tables. Okay, and again, I just don't want to go into there on the logical and physical tables end. Okay, and don't want to confuse you with that. So that is something that can be figured out later on as well. So again, in the extract part as well, you'll get the option of logical and physical part there. So just ignore that part for now. And I don't think that would be of much use, I mean, as per se. But yeah, you can ignore it for now. The logical and physical table concept there. Okay, so this is my meta view. Then this is my view for the entire data. If I have to view my data, I can this is my data window. So it is giving me the view for 100. If I want, I can just look into the 10,000 rows as well. Okay, so again, it all depends upon how many rows I enter here. So we have the data here. Okay, so this is the data view here. Again, if you want, you have the option here. I think this is a new version, so I'm just looking for that option. Just give me a moment. Yeah, so this data options is something, sorting option is something that you can do. So this is again the data source order that is coming. Then you have the A to Z order. If you place A to Z order, then category will come. Then similar to that, you have Z to A, and this is for when you have more than one table here. Okay, so then you can use this particular option. These last two options, you can do the sending and descending as per the tables that are connecting. And then you have the option of showing the aliases here, showing the hidden fields here. So I'll show you the hidden field option here once. So you can just simply right click here and you can just hide this field. So I just hit the customer ID here. If I want it back, then I can click on this show hidden fields option. I can see it. Okay, these are my hidden fields. Now, if I want it back, I can again right click on it and click on unhide. Okay, so sometimes this is useful when we have a lot of variables there and we don't want to use all of them. So in the data view, we want to see only few of them. So in those cases, it is useful. But this hiding it doesn't really exclude it from the data source that is not there. Okay. Any questions still here? Anyone, any question? Okay. Okay, so this is our live data and we can see that this is coming like this. Okay, what if we want to take an extract? So what is an extract first? So extract is basically a snapshot of the data at a particular point of time. Okay, so let's say I don't want to, in my live connection, I have almost, let's say 10 million or 20 million rows. Okay, and anyways, I'm not going to work with all those 20 million rows. So I'll take an extract of that. So what is the advantage of taking the extract? I'll take an extract of, let's say 20,000 rows. Or since the data is huge, let me take the extract of 2 lakh rows there. Okay. Anyways, it will be compressed there. So effectively like 20,000 rows kind of storage space. So once I have the extract with me, I'll have something to work on. Okay. And I can just do my building of data visualization part. And once I'm done with this, what I'll do is I'll connect back to the live connection and I'll click on refresh, or even clicking back on live connection would be suffice, and it will update the uh, visualization accordingly. I'll show you now how to do it. So first, let us see how to take an extract. So in order to take an extract, what you have to do is just click on this extract button. So as soon as you click on this extract button, you can see an edit option here. Okay, so if I go to sheet now, you can see go to worksheet. If I go to sheet now, it will ask me to save the extract. And as you can see, I told you, remember just a while ago that it's not TDE anymore, Tableau data extract. It's now called as dot hyper there. Okay, I'll change it in the slides as well, and then you can just later on refer. Earlier it was dot TDE, now it's dot hyper. Okay, so it is asking me to save that extract locally on my device. Okay, so that would be a completely extract file. Okay, so just for your reference, I think Parag, you asked that question. So if you see here, when I save it, it will save it as dot hyper file. Okay. Or effectively dot TDE file. So let me just save it here, or let me just let me just save it here. Okay, so by default, okay, now it will create an extract, and so by default, now you can see this is the symbol for the extract there. If you're connected to a particular database, let's say if you're connected to a live source, then you can see simple database option. But when you are connected to an extract here, you can see kind of a copied database option here. Okay, so that is how you can identify difference between whether you're working with live or an extract. Now we'll explore this particular option. So by default, Tableau has taken the extract of all rows there. Okay, all rows here. Whatever number of rows, columns, every data, every point in the data, it has captured in the extract. But this is something that we don't really want. Okay, so I'll just click on this edit part. Now we can see how we can take these extracts here. We'll explore this extract option. So if you see here now, okay, so this logical and physical tables that I was talking about, again, those of you who are have the background of RDBMS, you'll understand what I was saying. Again, those of you don't have, you can drop it for now. Okay, no need to go into it. We'll mostly be working with the logical tables only. So again, you can just drop that out, and we can just move ahead with this creating an extract part. So yeah, so this is one part. You can let it be the logical tables always. And let us come back to the other part now. So now we have the option of filtering our data. Okay, so let's say I have in the entire database, I have the data starting from the time period 2020 and 2000 and ending on to, let's say, time period 2021. And I don't want to do the analysis on entire data there. Okay, so what I really want is I just want to do the analysis on the recent data there. Maybe let's say uh, last 5 years there. So 2016 to 2021 is what I can take. In here, if you see now, so I get the option of filter here. So in here, I have on every field, I have a filter. Okay, so on every field, I have a filter, and accordingly, I can just create a filter. So let's say if I want to do an analysis on country here. So now it is asking me which country. So let's say I want to do the analysis only for United States. Okay, I can click on OK, and you can see the first filter is country United States. Let's say in the extract only, I want, apart from United States, I want the date, and which particular date I want. Again, you get the option here, range of date, whether you want it for a particular range, you want for year, you want for quarters. Anyways, this is something that in the filtering part that we will cover in depth there. But for now, you can let me just take the year filter there. Okay, and let me take the analysis for the recent 2 years, 15 and 14. Okay, so this is what I have here. Now I have two filters with me that are there on the extract. Now when I click on OK, it will create a new extract with these two filters in place, where I'll have the data for all these columns here, as you can see, but only for the United States country and only for the 2014 and 15 year. So this way, if we want, I can add more filters as well. Let's say I just want, no, not market, but mm, okay, let me just do it for some ship mode. Okay, let's say I want to see the analysis only for the same day deliveries there. So let me just put in one more filter, ship mode. So this way, if I click on OK now, it will contain the extract which will have these filters in place. Okay, this will not connect to the entire data there until unless I click it back on the live connection there. It will give me in that particular extract, I'll have all the rows and columns with these filters applied. I will have values for only United States, and the year would be 2014-15, and the ship mode would be same day delivery. Okay, so this is the way I can add filters into the data. If I want to remove any one of them, I can just simply click on remove. Or if I want to edit, simply click on this edit. Okay, let's say if I want to include 13 as well, so I can include it. Are we good till here? If we are good till here, then I'll move ahead with the next options. Okay. Okay, so this aggregation part is the next part. Again, I would recommend you can ignore it for now. Basically, what it is asking is if we can just roll up the data to year or to quarter or month or day, something that we are not going to use, and I'm recommending it that you guys can ignore this part. Okay, aggregation, until unless you know this particular thing or you know what you want here, then only go for these options like aggregation or physical tables. Otherwise, I don't see you guys using these two options here. That's why I'm not moving into these as well. Okay, next part is the I think the most important part here. So I told you by default Tableau will take a extract for all the rows here. Okay, so by default you can see that. The other two options are the top option, whereby you can just specify or mention, okay, this is my table that from which I want, let's say top 1000 rows or top 10,000 rows. And then you can just click on OK. Okay, or let's say if you want some sample data from there of let's say 1000 rows, then you have the rows option here. Okay, this will be randomly taken. Okay, this will be as per the sorting order. This will be taken as per the sorting order, the top 10,000 or top 1000, whatever number you mention here. This will be taken as randomly. Again, you have two options here. Either you can take rows or you can take percentage of data. So let's say I want 20% of data as my extract. Okay, so again, 20 is again, I have taken this number because those of you who are into data science can relate more to it, because as we know about the Pareto rule there, 80-20. So a large number of changes are happening due to a certain amount of things there. Okay, so that's why I've taken this 20. Again, I think 20% would be good enough if you have millions of rows there, so that you have the entirety of the things covered there. So again, if you have large amount of data, I would recommend you should go for this option here. Okay, some percentage of data, and later on when you are done with the visualization, then you can click it back on the live connection. And all we have to do is click on OK now to create an extract. Okay, so let me just create one more extract here with all these things. Let me have all rows only. Yeah, one more thing is the incremental refresh part. Something that I don't want you to get into, but I'm just giving you an overview. So what it will do is incremental refresh. So let's say we have an incremental data whereby the data is coming daily, let's say daily in this case. All we can do is we can just simply click on the table which we want to refresh and the identifier. So let's say I want it to be on the row ID, and I will click on OK, and it will be incremented as and when the data is coming there. Okay. Maybe I can schedule a refresh, something that we are not going to see now, how to schedule a refresh, maybe at a later time. But yeah, this is how you can take care of the data which is coming in the incremental numbers. Are we good with this? Okay, let me just create quickly extract here for this. Okay, now I think if I have to show you, you will have in the order date column all 14 values here. Okay, let me just go into sheet once. I just want to show one thing before we take the break. I'll take 5 more minutes. So let's say what I was trying to say earlier is, so I have put in some filters there, right? So as you can see now, I'm getting data only for United States here. Okay, but once I come back to that data source option and click back on live connection and then go again to the sheet, now you can see all the countries are coming. Okay, so what is the advantage of this? So let's say if you are working with a huge amount of data there, okay, then it will take a lot of processing time when you are building the visualization. In that process itself, it will take a lot of time. I'll show you how. Let's see if we can get it here. So we have country option here, then we have state option here. Okay, right now just concentrate on what I'm trying to bring out here rather than how we are doing it. It's something that anyways we are going to see. Okay, and let me just get the city there. And also, if possible, I think I have postal codes as well. Let me see. Anyways, these are null. Let me just take out. Okay, and let me say let us see profit here. Okay, let us see the same thing. Let us just have this category wise. Okay, again there are certain categories, or let's say I want to see subcategories as well. Okay, so in here we have a good processor here. Okay, and data is not that huge. Otherwise, it will ask you that it will take some time to do this particular calculations here as well. So that is something it will take a lot of time. Okay, I think we have less data here, so it is not coming up as of now. So what I meant is, so let's say if you're building with the entire data here, okay, and you have a lot of categories and subcategories, then country like variables there, a lot of dimensions there, and then you're trying to analyze it that way. Then again, a query might pop up there. Yeah, okay, this is what I wanted to show. So it is computing the layout every time. If I put in here this as well, okay, it is computing the layout again. This processing is taking place. Okay, this will not, again, this is just a small processing because the data is very low, but imagine it with the millions of rows there. Okay, it can actually take you hours there, because ultimately, if you remember, effectively it's a table only. So whatever visualization we are creating here, I can just simply right click here, duplicate as cross tab, and I can see the data for that. So effectively this is my table only. Okay, again, don't want you to get into this right away, just to show you what we are doing. So every time this will take a lot of processing request time. So better way would be to work with the extracts. It will process this thing faster, and since the data is also less, uh, for the development part, you'll save a lot of time. So you can imagine it this way: if you are working with 10 lakh of the data, 10 millions of data there, then the processing time would be a bit more there. But when you are working with only, let's say, 10,000 rows, then the processing time will definitely be less there. And later on, you can just simply click back on the live part there. It would not have taken us that much time had we been working with the extract part. The same thing would have taken us less time. So this is what I wanted to bring up. Second thing would be the, okay, let's say I am doing some analysis here. Okay. So just to quickly show you, rather than country, let me take, I think year we took. Okay, so we have 4 years here, as you can see. And let's say I just want to see the sales from these 4 years. Okay. Again, just forget the how part we are doing. Just concentrate on like what I'm trying to show here. We're anyways going to get into the how part. So this is my table when I'm connecting to the live data, and you can see I have 4 years of data here. Okay, 12, 13, 14, and 15. But when I'll connect it back to the extract part now, okay, and I'll come back to that visualization, you can see I only have 13, 14, 15. Okay, so again, those filters that we placed earlier, we have the numbers. Also, this will have only United States. Let me just show you that as well. You can see only United States. But if I go back there, so how it would be helpful, let's say I'm working with only this particular data, and then later on I wanted to see for all the data there, I can just click back on live connection, go back to my visualization, and I have data for all the years for all the countries. Okay, so this is the amount of time that we'll save while making our visualizations when we are working with the extract connections. So this is the advantage of working with an extract over the live connection. Any questions now before we take the break? Any questions? Any part that you didn't get it?
So Abhishek, one part is that we can use this extract for the development, like what you have shown, like if we are doing only the analysis of US, and then later connect it to live connection to see all the like all the countries.
Yes.
And after completing this extract like analysis, we can send it also to like on the mail or something.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Thanks for reminding me that. So we can just save our workbook. Okay. Now you can see I am getting one option as .twb. This will only save the file here, this particular workbook here. But when we have to open it, we have to again connect it back to our data source the way we did it. Okay. So I'll have the file. Okay, let me just show it with the .twb extension first. So let me just save it. I don't know where it got saved. Yeah, so if I share this file with someone, okay, right now I already have the data here, so it is coming up. Otherwise, when you are into the sheet, it will ask you to connect to the database. But when we are saving it as a packaged workbook, then we can click here. We get the option of .twbx. That way it will be saved with the extract. Okay. So now when I save it, it will contain the data as well. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, so that file will contain the workbook as well. And now when I share this file with anyone, okay, oh sorry, the data as well. Now when I share this workbook with anyone else, so it will contain the data as well as the workbook as well. So let me just close it and let me just close it and open it again. You guys are able to see my Tableau? Can someone just quickly confirm?
No, it is not visible.
Oh, okay. Just a second. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I can just simply go to that file option and open. Now you can see in here. So for a packaged workbook, there is this brown line that you can see here. You can see here, right?
Mhm.
Is that visible, guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so with the in a packaged workbook, you can see the extension would be this would be Tableau packaged workbook, it says. Okay, and for the extract, it says Tableau extract here. If you have to see their extensions, you can go for the extensions as well. Okay, I'm not sure how to get that. Maybe some right click or just you can just have a look there. This is my data source file, as you can see. Okay, so this is the extract file here. It comes with this kind of a some database on top of the file there. This one is the packaged workbook, which contains the data as well. So this file is something that I can directly share with anyone. Okay, that person doesn't really need any connection there in order to see the visualizations in this file. So whenever I share this one, if it is connected through a database, okay, all I have to do is just enter the database credentials and all the visualizations will be there. But if it is sent without the database connection, then you can just simply click on this like this one. If I open this one, you can see it has opened from where I left it. Okay, everything is available. Otherwise, if the data was not in my machine, okay, then in that case, I need to connect it to the database or a file. I mean, whatever is the source of the data. Are we clear now?
So this TWX file can be saved with only extract option also. Like right now we have saved it with all the data, full data.
No, 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 no. Even if I've saved it with TWBX, even if it was in live, it has been saved as an extract only. If you ever see, okay. Uh, See, whenever you see this brown option here, brown package kind of a thing option here, then it is a Tableau packaged workbook there. If you save a normal file, so let me just try to save it as a normal file in that same folder. Okay. Okay, in the same folder, instead of TWBX, now I'm saving it as TWB. Now let me just show you. Now you can see this is my normal workbook. Let me try to expand it. Yeah. So this is my normal workbook. You can see Tableau workbook. This would be TWB extension file. This is my packaged workbook, which contains the data as well. This is my .twbx file, and this is my .tde or the .hyper file, which is now called as .hyper. This is my extract file here. So I have three options here. Okay, all three we have seen. This one contains only the visualizations without the data. This one contains the data as well. And this one is the data itself, the extract itself.
So when we open this extract file, like for example, I have used this extract and I have done some visualization only for USA. And when I open this extract or TWX file, so is it option where it will show me only US visualization and not other?
It depends upon whatever filters you have applied on the extract.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Right, we took the extract just now, right?
Yes.
So it depends upon whatever filters you have applied there, and you have got the extract accordingly. If you take on all rows, it will show you all data there. So
Okay.
just take it as a second exercise from my end. Just try connecting to a Tableau workbook. Okay, just create a small extract, build a visualization like this, anything, not necessarily this, and just try connecting it back. So just build it in the extract format, something like this. See, now it's asking me to locate the extract, right? Because this is only the TWB file also. So I can just simply click here and open. See, the same extract I have saved there. So just try doing it this way. Just try with the some extract filters there. Take an extract and then make some visualization, anything like this. I just put year there, country there, and sales in the text part. Again, this is something that we are going to see how we do it in the next class. But yeah, so this is one part. Just try doing it and then come back here, click on live connection and go back there and see if it is updating or not. I mean, it will be it will update itself, but yeah, you can see the difference and figure out like what is an extract, what is a live connection. Okay. So, any other questions from anyone else? I actually saw two questions. Something mentioned about data privacy. Okay, data privacy might be an issue if we use in public, since it's server based. For practice, it might be okay. Any other alternate to get the Tableau desktop version for the professionals free apart from the student and trial? No, I think Rachel asked this question. So the answer to that would be no. I mean, yes, there, but you have to purchase it. So yeah, technically, we don't have any other option to get the full desktop version apart from the student and trial version. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? If we don't have any questions, so I'll just quickly take a 5 minutes break. Yeah, so I think we have covered this connecting.
We upload a CSV file. So is there a specific
Yeah,
option
you
for
can use the text file connector. There's a text file option. You can use that.
Okay. Okay.
Let me just quickly show that to you, Bhavna.
Okay.
So my power just went off. I think I'll might drop once again when it would be restored. Yeah, coming to your question. So this text file option here is one with which you can connect the CSV files, like Samir already mentioned.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Okay. Yeah, so we're into the slides part, right? So just give me a moment. Yeah. Uh, okay, I think this we have already covered. So Tableau can connect to the following data types here. File system, like again, such as Excel CSV. Then we saw the relational system. Again, we have these options there. Again, and the connecting to a server option on the left side. And then we have the cloud system, all these options here. And then other sources using the open database connectivity option. Also, yeah, it can also connect to multiple data sources at the same time as well. Okay, that is something that we'll cover not today because we don't have that much time. The data blending part there. So you can connect to multiple sources in the file there. Sorry, in Tableau there. Like it could be a database at the same time, it could be an Excel sheet at the same time, it could be some Google sheet there. Again, you have all those options. Okay, and the next would be, yeah, we have already seen this. So in here we have option of connecting to file, then to server. So again, yes, guys, the slides here are just for your reference there. I would recommend seeing, you can just go through the videos as and when you feel like. Okay, but just have slides as your reference. That's it, not more than that. And there is not much that you can cover from there. So again, I think one more session maybe. After that, we'll be more into the hands-on part only. Okay, there's not much to be discovered from the slides as per, but yeah, it is just for your reference part. Then I think connecting to a file we have already seen. So throughout we are going to work with this file sample superstore so that we understand it and make it just to let it be very simple there. Uh, then the option of connecting to a database server, we have already seen that. Again, we need to put in our credentials and then we can just simply sign in. Then yeah, once we connect to database, then we have the option of selecting the database there. Since we haven't connected, so we didn't see this part, but as you can see, when you connect to a particular database, same way you can just select any table and then you can drag that table here. Then also you can select some other table and then drag and establish a connection there as well. Something that we can see maybe in next class because I don't see we have much time remaining today. So let me just see what all things we can cover. Yeah, so again, live and extract is something that we just saw. So live is for my real-time updates. Any changes in the data source gets automatically reflected. So we can just simply put a refresh there. Okay, so yeah, so I have two exercises for you guys. So those of you who are able to download Tableau, just try taking an extract, create with some filters there, create a visualization, anything, just drag and drop, and maybe on the filters only. So if you're taking a country filter, just see on the country part, sales values, that's it. Simple one, just drag and drop there and then connect it back to the live and just see if the visualizations are updating or not. So that is one thing that you can do. Uh, the other thing that you can do is you can actually with the in this particular Excel file. Okay, once try inserting some rows with some unique row IDs here. Okay, just create some dummy rows and save that in the Excel file and come back here and refresh it and see if that data is updated here or not. Okay, that is one thing that you can try. Uh, yeah, so these two things you can try as of now. I think we have time till Monday, right? So till Monday, you can just download the Tableau. Just try with these two things there. Okay, again, I think this we have already covered. It contains direct connection to the underlying data, relies on database for all queries, and then in the extract part, it is a snapshot of data at a particular point of time. So the advantage of live connection would be it offers the convenience of real-time updates with any changes in the data source reflected directly in Tableau. and advantage with extract would be tend to be much faster than live connections. Okay, since I've already mentioned that Tableau has its own in-memory database system there, so it tend to process faster. Okay, and especially in more complex visualization with large data sets, filters, calculations. So you can see the more these the data is, the more the data is, the more time it will take if you work without extract. But when you are working with extract, there will be faster processing there. Okay, I think this is something that I guess time won't allow me, so I don't want to get into this. So let us start our next session with joins first, and then we can go into the blending part. I wanted to cover this in today's class only, but I think addressing the doubts and again starting a bit late there um, didn't really allow me to cover this as well. So again, this is a new topic. If I have to start with it, uh, something that will take me some good enough amount of time there. So let it be the agenda for the next class. And as of now, we can just have a quick check on those of you who are, I mean, aware about joins. Can you just quickly comment? Okay. See, anyway, that is something that I'm going to cover. But if all of you say yes here, okay, let me just ask it this way. Anyone who is not comfortable or doesn't have any idea about joins, can you just raise your hand or let me just know by commenting? Okay. Okay, Nikhil, no worries there. Uh, yeah, anyways, we'll cover it. No worries. I was just trying to see if any, I mean, everyone is aware of it. Maybe me explaining you would give you a better clarity there. So I'll assume I'll take that assumption. And yeah, so that is what we'll start our next class with. Okay, the next class will be on Monday, and I'll request everyone to join on time there. So 3 p.m. would be our scheduled time there. So yeah, you can join on Monday. Until then, you can just go through the two exercises that I told you. You can just try it out, creating an extract and all. And the other one, updating in the live in the Excel sheet there, some with some unique row IDs and some data there, and then saving it and then coming back to the Tableau and creating a refresh there. Okay, you can just simply click on the refresh button. So those of you who don't know, I'm talking about this button here. Yeah, any questions before we wrap up today's session? Any questions or anything that you want to share? Okay, I think then we are good to drop off.